Come in. Oh, so glad you're here. Yeah, they're in the basement. What is? Look, I don't even know what they are. They just started attacking me as soon as I went down to get some bins. So, could you please take care of them for me? All right, no worries. I'll take care of it. Oh God, not these f***ing things again. Oh dear God. This is almost as bad as the Tales from the Crawl Space.
Oh, that's nasty.
Episode. Oh God.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another vomit-inducing episode of Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. My God, last week's was horrid. I loved every fucking second of it.
Me too. It was fucking awesome.
Now, the guy you hear retching in the background is none other than the one, the only Jack Starry. Jack, what's up, my man?
Hi there.
Hi there.
I'm calling on my old welcome back Carter, Washington. Hi there.
Hi there. Yeah, absolutely. Back when I was much younger, welcome back Carter was my jam.
It was that and Barney Miller for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was the launching pad to an amazing career of one Epstein. No, I'm talking about John Travolta. But.
Well, Dietrich on Barney Miller's show was where I got my sarcasm from.
Oh, Dietrich was great.
So
Dietrich was great.
That's where I developed my love for sarcasm, is watching Dietrich on Barney Miller's show. And I still watch that if I see it. I think Pluto TV has Barney Miller on every day, so I still watch it. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Fish was actually my favorite character. Dietrich was great. Dietrich was kind of highbrow, you listen to him, you laugh, and you think, that guy's he's got to be stoned just a little bit. And him and Yamana, Jack Sue. I mean, they were just so. Fish and Yamana were the two that I identify with more now, as with my age and as long as I've been in the career, than any of the other characters of Barney Miller, because both of those guys had zero fucks to give. After a while.
Yeah, for sure.
It was great. And then you see a new guy come in, and he's that one little guy that always came in, the cop that wanted to be a detective. I can't remember
little
his
male
name.
guy, yeah. I know you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But and an interesting piece of trivia was Abe Vigoda, the actor who portrayed the character Fish, was also in The Godfather as and Tessio. And Abe Vigoda has looked 80 years old his entire fucking life. And I was stunned to find out last year that Abe Vigoda, when The Godfather was filmed, was actually 8 years younger than I am right now.
Wow.
And that blew my fucking mind. Yeah, that made me feel extremely old. And then it got worse, because I found out that Ralph Macchio in The Karate Kid is actually older now than Pat Morita Miyagi was when they filmed it.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax off, Daniel-san.
Good old TV, and we got to give a heads up to Wojo Howitz.
Oh yeah, Max Gale.
Max Gale. Fucking yeah. I love that fucking show.
Good old Blojo Howitz.
Still can't spell his last name.
Oh no. It's consonant salad.
Probably gets easier when you're drunk.
Oh, I'm sure. And speaking of drunk, are you still hitting on that potato juice?
I am. I tell you, I like those goddamn Greyhounds so much. I killed off the rest of my grapefruit juice and put an excessively generous heaping helping of my potato vodka in there, and I'm enjoying a Greyhound as we do the show this evening.
That's terrific. I want to give everybody a quick recipe for, speaking of vodka, I'm not drinking vodka. I'm still chipping away at my retirement bourbon, which is Evan Williams bottled in bond. It's aged for about 3 or 4 weeks. It is 100 proof. but it's got a great price point at about $25 for a 1.75 liter. Its taste completely betrays its youth. And I call it my retirement bourbon because it's cheap. So, when I'm on a fixed income, that's what I'm going to be getting drunk on. So anyway, but I digress because I want to share a quick vodka-based recipe for an amazing drink. It's amazing because I invented it. It's called the Savannah Smile, and the Savannah Smile consists of 8 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces of Rose's lime juice. I'm talking slow, so I know you guys are writing this down. 2 ounces of lime juice, 4 ounces of triple sec, and 6 cups of, and you need this to make this work, Simply peach juice. It's from the Simply line. This you've got Simply Orange, Simply Lemonade, Simply Fruit Punch, Simply Tartar Control Crest. They have a peach flavored one. So you want to put 6 cups of that. You can over under on the vodka if you want to taste or to intoxicant levels, and mix it all together, chill it, and serve it over cracked ice with either a maraschino or a Luxardo cherry. You will not be disappointed.
Man.
This is probably one of the most refreshing summertime type drinks that I've ever had, and I stumbled upon it because I had partial amounts in all these bottles of stuff. And Ellen, my beautiful bride of 36 years, brings home some of this peach juice. We both love peach, and we thought, hey, peach juice would be great. I said, I got to make something that'll get me drunk with this stuff. So what I did, I got this together. Definitely. If you don't take anything away from our podcast, please take that away and try it. It's great.
Poor Ellen comes in the house from the grocery store with juices and going, "Don't go getting fucked up on this shit."
Yeah. My wife is so awesome. It's like you look up in the dictionary and you look under the term long suffering, there is a picture of her.
Oh, I always thought it was under the definition of a amazing lady. So
she is, but she's suffered me for fucking 36 years. Actually 38 because we lived together before. We lived in sin before we got married. But yeah, she is awesome. I don't know what I'd do without her, and I don't want to know.
Well, then the definition of saint, it should be under the definition of saint.
Yeah, it's like if anybody's seen Coneheads, when Connie was talking to Beldar about what he would do if she ever died, and he was like, I would cease to work or cease to do this, and I would do nothing. The stench would be great, or some shit like that. And but yeah, that's how I feel about Ellen. If something ever happened to her, yeah, the stench would definitely be great.
Oh, well, that's a fine lady. So we're going from fine saints and sweet smelling and Savannah.
That's right.
Smile.
Yeah. Speaking of great stenches, let's get down dirty and nasty.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We kicked off the last episode with Eric McPhee, and he gave me a twofer, so I'm going to kick it off with Eric McPhee again. So thank you, Eric, for your.
I'm sure he would appreciate that.
Thank you for your emissions. So
emissions, nocturnal and otherwise.
Friendly neighborhood cheese bag here in Texas. A couple years ago, I used to treat an apartment complex in Fort Worth. The office kept getting complaints from several people. They keep getting gnats and don't know where they're coming from. So I decided to investigate the situation and check out the whole building of 36 units to find the source. I knocked from door to door to check people's units and was worried I wasn't going to find anything as the list dwindled down to the last few units. I knocked on one of the last doors and unfortunately found exactly what I was looking for. The door opened to unleash a plague of gnats and an ungodly smell of rotting food. I looked inside with horror to see a waist-high labyrinth of bottles, cups, to-go boxes, cans, and Lord knows what else, with paths only leading to the kitchen, living room, and bedroom. I dared not to take a step inside for fear that the monster from Star Wars Trash Compactor would drag me to my death. The man that The man that answered the door had the audacity to ask me if I was going to have to tell the office about the unit, and not really knowing how to answer that, I just said very disconcertingly, yeah. So, surprise, they got evicted, and the office had to hire a hazmat team to clean out the unit because the people also left them a gift of German roaches and bed bugs. I understand that hoarding is a sickness, and I do feel bad for them, but it's baffling to me how you can live with so many gnats that they start infesting almost an entire apartment building.
That's hideous. Oh, Jesus. My God.
Yeah. Christ on a crutch.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
It's like when you're in a large apartment building or whatnot, there is always a fucking ground zero, and and you got to feel so bad for the people on either side, above, below, because there's always that. Not only is there always the ground zero, but they're always next door. It's the person that takes such good care of their apartments. It's immaculate. You go in, you can lick the floor and not taste a fucking thing, except maybe some lavender fabuloso. But they're the ones that are working their ass off to keep their fucking place clean and shit. But they're still getting roaches because fucking Piggy McPiggerson lives next door, and it's tell me about it. I talked last week about a place that I lovingly called Fentanyl Gardens. That was a notorious one. And before, this is one I ran for the Scarlet Letter. And after when I left the Scarlet Letter, Torch and Amber were still living there, and they had to go through this hideously long eviction process because this was a government subsidized, apartments. And so it's almost like a 2 fucking year process or something to get somebody out. That's just bringing the whole fucking building down.
Ugh, God,
it's ridiculous. Yeah, good old Torch and Amber, man. Yeah, I talked last week about feeling sorry for people, that have addictions and stuff like that. It was really challenging to feel sorry for Torch and Amber because they were such fucking slobs.
Well, their fucking names are Torch and Amber. I mean, generally, I shudder to see the house of someone that's named unusual, like a semi-precious stone or
Jack.
A liqueur. So it just
Jack. What? I shit you not. They had taken a butane lighter and burned Torch and Amber on their front door.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's that just oozes with class.
Natural born pillars.
Yeah, and then on top of everything, which made it even more difficult to be empathetic, was that Torch was a fucking major douchebag, right?
What?
I mean, you knock on his door, and thank God the maintenance person that walked with me, I call her that loud broad at Fentanyl Gardens, and because she would bang on that door, control at the top of her ample lungs, and it was like nothing woke me up quicker than that. And anybody from PCHD remembers back when I worked at the Scarlet Letter, almost every other Friday, I would post that I was listening to Maggot Brain from Funkadelic. The reason I listened to Maggot Brain on those days was those were the days I was doing Fentanyl Gardens. And if an apartment building could have a song, dedicated to it, Fentanyl Gardens was Maggot Brain.
I remember you introduced me to that song sitting around a campfire.
I believe I did, and isn't that it's such an emotionally invoking song.
It is. It really is.
It's got a really and the story behind the creation of the song has absolutely nothing to do with Nasty Apartments, but it fits so well.
Yeah, if it works, it works. Shit.
Fucking A. Peanut. I guess peanut butter was supposed to be some sort of lubricant, but here we are eating it. Hey,
Lysol was a floor cleaner, so I'm not Lysol. Listerine was a floor cleaner, so yeah.
No, Lysol was also a douche.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Minty fresh.
Interesting, eh? Anyway, so all right, got me a That's Nasty story, and again, I didn't catch names, so we're just going to say these people wanted to be anonymous. 2019, I was a brand new apprentice, running behind for the day, so I called my customer and let him know all was well until he opened the door. A grown man with a pudding bowl haircut, dark circle under his eyes, and stained pajamas stood before me. Maybe he was a night shift worker. I greeted him. He let me in, and I saw that all of his blinds were closed. It was hot, so I thought nothing of it. He complained about roaches, and immediately I knew why he had such a problem. Piles upon piles of empty takeout containers, Bud Light cans, dishes with food caked on them. The smell is permanently burned into my nostrils. There was so much trash that it cascaded into his dining room. That actually sounds pretty because it cascaded into his dining room.
It was cascading.
Yeah, so it was spotless. Then he said, "Yeah, can you spray around the trash cans to keep the roaches away? Keep the roaches away from the trash cans. Why? Are you eating out of them?"
But, keep them in the trash cans because he's not dumping it.
That's right. I was honest and polite. Told him he needs to clean up. He got angry but accepted. Told me I could go wherever I wanted, just not into the computer room. Oh, here we go again.
Oh, here we go.
I actually ended up there. Or accidentally ended up there.
Of course you accidentally did.
Yeah. A literal mountain of porn DVDs, a wastebasket filled with tissues, and a stained chair. Living room was disgusting. There were notes all over the floor about a woman that had left him. She left. She left me, they said. Then he kept getting more agitated and closer to me, to the point that I drew attention to the mace on my keychain. He saw it, put two and two together, and I got the fuck out of there. Sprayed the outside faster than I ever have in my life and left. Okay, that was 2019, I believe. Okay, let's fast forward to the next year of 2020. We have dog shit all over a 2-story house, and I want my stuff back scratched into the front door. Oof. Then there's the time 2 months before the roach man, I went into a crawl space and my gloved hand went right through a juicy dead rat.
Lovely.
Rat burritos.
This guy was stellar individual. I mean, stellar individual.
Yeah. I freaked out but womaned up and completed the crawl. It was for a salesman that promised a disinfectant would be sprayed down there, and I was the smallest tech on the job site.
What the fuck?
This was far before I quit drinking. I bought myself a nice Belgian ale on the way home because I was new and female. The manager thought I was about to quit. Still love the job 4 years later. Jack, and this one does. This one is for us. This next sentence is for us, buddy.
Uh-huh.
She goes, "Thanks again for the show. It's the highlight of my Friday."
That's fucking awesome. I'm glad. And I tell you,
I'm getting emotional here.
when whoever it was that wrote that story said, "Quit drinking," I can tell you who didn't write the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sure as hell know who it wasn't. That's right. You're talking about the Texas Twister, aren't you?
That's right. We love you, Paula. We love you,
Paula. Love you to bits. You have got to get on the show again sometime.
Oh, fuck yes. Hell yeah.
This time unclench your anus a little bit.
Okay, well, look, I got one from Stacy White. Said, "Hey, for the Oh That's Nasty podcast. This is a little quick one. I was evaluating a fourplex for German roach cleanout. 3 units were mildly infested, and the tenants kept telling me the roaches were coming from one unit. I get to that unit, and they were right. This one unit was floor to ceiling infested. What makes this one memorable for me is that the tenant was standing at the kitchen counter with a pan of mac and cheese. I could see the roaches going in and out of the pan. He grabs a spoon and starts eating. At one point, he got a spoonful and said, 'Whoa, whoa, there's a roach on that bite.' He just flicked the roach. He just flicked the roach off and continued to eat. What the fuck, man?
Oh my god!
There's a roach in that one. Crunchy. It's like adding bacon bits without the bacon.
Ooh, Bacos, yeah. Oh my god! I thought about Bacos just today. I had put out some. I've got this big ass warehouse that's historically had an American roach issue, to no end. And you look at all the usual suspects, and then you finally realize, the this place has got them in the walls. They're everywhere. So, I put some some boric acid bait, either Niban or Invict or whatever I had at that time. Put them in some RTUs and set them around, like the heating units, because they had like the radiators and whatnot, and steam and so forth. That's where you put them, because that's a lot of times that's where they come in. And I did that, and then a month later, another technician did the service, and yet just today I did the third service on it with those stations in there. I walked in, and much to my delight, I saw a lot of this stuff was getting consumed. We do have glue monitors out there, and there were fewer American roaches on it, but one of them I opened up, and there was like a thorax and part of the abdomen that was left on it. So it looked like this fucker ate some, left, came back, ate some more, left, came back, ate some more, died right there. And then his partner came in and it's like, ooh,
snack.
Looks like Dale's dead. Let's go ahead and eat it. But they left like part of the thorax and a little bit of the abdomen, and it looked just like some fucking Bacos, man.
Oh, yummy.
I was just like, ooh, crispy. Where's a salad when you need one?
The crunch lets you know it's good.
That's right. Yeah. It's like, this is a little less smoky than I remember.
Yummy. Fucking, I'm gonna have a hard time eating mac and cheese for a while.
Oh, no, that ain't no shit. You're not kidding. Hey, okay, I got one from Bob F. And I call him Bob F because I'll be damned if I can pronounce his last name. I think it's Frazakis or something like that. But anyway, Bob, we love you. Really enjoy seeing your shit on the depot. But anyway, Bob F. Writes, this is my story this week for Tales from the Crawl Space. I've been in the industry since 1995, rookie. I've seen the disgusting places that fellow cheesebags post on the depot, the absolute gross of gross. This one place has burned an image into my mind that I will never forget. I was working in a residential branch of the company I work for. One nice fall day, I received a same-day start. I forget the actual pest. Little did I know what was in store for me. I arrived to the place on time for once, and it was a townhome. Typical for the area, I guess. Garage on the left, front door to the right, living quarters above the garage. Vegetation overgrown a bit, some clutter, but nothing too major. I knock on the door and nothing. I ring the bell and nothing. I call and she answers, says, door's open and I can come in. The moment I opened the door, I would never trust a townhome again.
Uh-oh.
The odor literally made me step back a step. As I opened the door, there was a staircase covered in puppy pads, and literally every step had dog shit.
Fucking puppy pads.
More than one pile for each step. I thought, oh my God, what the fuck? 13 fucking steps on those stairs, by the way.
Bad omen.
Ooh, yeah, minefield. As I tiptoed up the steps, I get to the upper landing for the living space. In front of me was the half bath. At least from what I can tell anyway, from all the bags of opening and spilling out garbage that was in there. To my left was the living space in the kitchen. At this point, I'm literally gagging and wishing I had my respirator and Vapo Rub. To you rookies, by the way, let's talk for a minute about masking smells. Yeah, we'll get back to the story in just a second. But Jack, what was your drug of choice?
Actually, it was Vicks Vapor Rub, to be honest with you. When I got this house, this 101-year-old house now, my aunt who had passed away, who left the house to me, had left behind a jar of the original Vicks Vapor Rub. You can tell because it was in a glass jar, the blue glass jar, metal lid, and it was almost a clear translucent as opposed to this white pasty stuff you get now. I'd carry that jar because it was natural ingredients as opposed to none of the ingredients are the same in Vicks Vapor Rub anymore as they used to be. There's nothing's the same. But this was the actual mentholatum and stuff. And I'd take a little swab of that, just like they did on Silence of the Lambs when they pulled that death's head moth out of that girl's throat. Yeah. And I'd put a little swipe right under each nostril. So the original Vicks Vapor Rub's what I used.
Oh, that's
What'd you
awesome.
use?
What I use, I used a combination. I used Vicks Vapor Rub. I did, and that was back when you're right. It had the consistency of like Vaseline.
Yep.
But Noxema is one that I've heard of people using a lot.
Okay.
I have, back when I worked at the Scarlet Letter, and if I didn't have access to either Noxema or Vicks Vapor Rub, we used to do, deodorizer services. And of course, being the Scarlet Letter, they're not going to do anything, from this century. So our deodorizers was the can of liquid that you stuck a piece of cardboard in, and you stuck it in this box that had a D-cell battery and this tiny fan that would just run continuously, right?
Oh my God.
Oh, we had it all. We had cherry scent, we had cinnamon scent, we had wintergreen scent. And oh yeah, they were ridiculous. Trying to change those things was a bitch. But I digress. I used that. I would dip a paper towel in it, or a tissue, or what have you. A tissue, exactly. And I would just dab just the tiniest bit on my stash, because it had to be a tiny bit, because if you dabbed any more than fucking that, it would burn you like acid. Ugh. And yeah, so that was my drug of choice, and dealing with that stuff at the Scarlet Letter. But during my time at the Big Green Tea and Economics Labrador Retriever, I would use either Noxema or Vicks Vapor Rub. Anymore, I got to be honest with you, I'm so fucking used to it, or I don't have as many fucks to give as I had back in the day. I'll just fucking drag my, I always wear an undershirt underneath my uniform shirt. And I'll just put that fucker right over my nose, and, your apartment stinks. Fuck you. But yeah, I had done a couple of things. Quick side note. My dear mother, who passed away a couple of years ago, for somebody that's been in the business as long as I have been, Jack, I am still very sensitive to smells. There are some smells that will nauseate me. Right. Human feces, regardless of who it's from, still does that to me. And so, my mom was in assisted living towards the end of her life, and she, the lady next door had an accident. And so I was, it was wafting into my mom's room really bad. So I couldn't figure out what the hell to do. And this was during COVID. So, masks were readily available. So I popped a mask on, and it wasn't working. So what I did was I went outside for a second. I told Mom, I said, I got a text I got to answer. Let me text her. Lie to her, because, I'm a bad son. But I go out there, and the hand sanitizer dispensers are on the wall. So I take that mask, and I do about 2 squirts of the hand sanitizer in there, put it on my face, and damn near passed out. This fucking alcohol. I was just like, oh God, I should have just stayed and smelled the neighbor's shit. But
well, I'll tell you, when it comes to getting rid of a stank, you can't put it on your nose, but you can sure as hell put it in a room. Nil odor Tapadrop. You familiar with that stuff, Brad?
No. Is anything like Ratzorb?
Well, no. It just comes in like a little tiny bottle, almost a little bit bigger than the old Visine bottles. Remember, like the 1.5 inch wide Visine bottles, the oval ones?
Yep.
Well, this stuff comes in different scents, but it is so fucking strong. You just need like 1 or 2 drops in a room, and it'll damn near get rid of the smell in the room.
Huh.
This stuff is fucking fantastic. It's called Nil Odor, NIL Odor Tapadrop.
Yeah.
And I'd have skunk jobs, and they would have the fart squirrels busted ass underneath the house or something. Mm-hmm. And I'd put like 5 drops in a quart spray bottle and fill it full of water and spray that under the house. Took care of the skunk.
Wow.
Yeah, the stuff's awesome. You can find it on Amazon, and it's not that expensive. It's Nil Odor Tapadrop. Just to let you know.
All right, good deal. Send me a link.
I will.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to Bob Foof's story. I'll back up a little bit and said, they tiptoed up the steps. I get to the upper landing for the living space. In front of me was the half bath. At least from what I could tell anyways, from all the bags of open and spilling out garbage that was in there. And to my left was the living space in the kitchen. At this point, I'm literally gagging and wishing I had my respirator and VapoRub. The living space was covered wall to wall with puppy pads and literally at least 100 more piles of dog shit, a multitude of moldy bowls of dog food, and the worst thing, yes, that wasn't the worst thing, was the vomit. This lady had vomited everywhere. On the floors, on the furniture, on the walls, some dried, some not so much in the kitchen, where it was 3/4 full of unbagged garbage. Well, hang on a second.
Well, I'd vomit
Moldy,
too.
nasty piles of plates, pans, and whatnot. Fighting back my own. Of course, this had. This had to be after lunch. It's always after lunch.
Yummy.
I meagerly told her as best I couldn't help her with her problem if her place looks like this. I'm sorry. Usually I have more candor, but in this instance, I had no time. I had to get out. I got back down the stairs, and no, I wasn't as careful going down as I was going up, which didn't help.
You just want to get the fuck out.
I said, "Oh, this dude goes on, Jack."
Oh.
I said, "Yes, there is more." I saw the inside of the garage on my way out. That too was wall-to-wall garbage.
Oh.
I got halfway through the yard and lost my lunch for the day. Oh, God, how I wished I was someone and somewhere else. Once I cleaned up, I called my boss and explained to him why I was walking away from money. Told him if he had a problem with that, he can find a new tech. I was not going back in. I had a cool boss, trusted my judgment, and agreed to let it go. I don't miss doing residential or apartments. Strictly commercial and industrial now, but because of that one place, I can handle the nastiest restaurants.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bob, you are my new hero. Just send me your mailing address and you'll get your cape and red tights. Oh my God. I'm telling you what, Jack, and that's just it, man. It's customers like this that steal us for the rest of them. Because you can go into a place that's trash now. I mean, this poor soul here, Bob F, could go into a place now and it's going to be trashed. Before he had seen this account, would have been like, oh God, holy shit! I can't wait to write about PCHD about this one. But he has seen the worst of the worst. So anything after that is going to be more, maybe not a complete cakewalk, but it's going to be a lot easier on you.
Well, you waltz in and you go, shit, this ain't like that bitch that puked all over the goddamn place's house.
Exactly.
This ain't nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I had an identical account when I was working at Big Green Tea, and it was early on. So it's like, and I will say her last name, but Mrs. Stanton, you're a fucking slob. And she's probably dead by now. But anyway, I mean, it's like, oh, my kid threw up in the hallway. Yeah, just can you spray around there so the roaches don't get at it? Don't clean it up or anything, Mrs. Stanton, for fuck's sake.
No, don't bother with that. No, I got to tell you, I had a customer from the main floor and the upper floor of the house were fucking beautiful, spotless, wonderful. Mm-hmm. But as I got through the kitchen to where the door goes down to the basement, I was catching the smell of ammonia. And I'm like, what the hell's that? And I started walking down to the basement because I always check around the sump, camelback crickets and shit like that. Right. And I get down there, and this lady buys these 50-pound bags of cat litter and just dumps it on the fucking floor, the concrete floor of the basement, and just lets the cats climb up on the pile of litter and shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, the cats apparently didn't feel like mountain climbing, so they were shitting. like it was like the first little camp at the bottom of Everest right before you start the climb.
Yeah, base camp. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like shitting at base camp and not wanting to venture up the mountain.
Do you blame them? On the way up, they'll probably find other dead cats laying there, just like at Everest.
You're right.
Oh my God! Make sure they've got oxygen tanks that are full. Grab those and keep going.
Yeah, I think there's Sherpas on standby down there. So
yeah, the Sherpas are like little mice. It's like, no, you go this way. Fuck.
So yeah, just pour the shit on the floor. I'm like, but ma'am, there's rodents eat that stuff, and it's just sitting down there. And there's a lot of like really hard petrified ones. So it's not like she just dumped more litter on it and keep going.
Oh yeah, because it's like. Oh, but it's scoopable. Well, no, it's scoopable.
Yeah, but all that piss was soaking into the concrete and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think the kitty litter industry did the entire world a disservice by coming up with that scoopable litter. Because I'm sorry, you could scoop. The cat will piss in it. It'll make a little clump. You can pull it out. It doesn't do nothing about getting rid of that cat piss smell. It's like, it permeates the other granules that are in there. And it's like, no, your house smells like cat piss. You're lonely and you have 19 cats that are all pissing in one box. It's like, for fuck's sake, go get some dick already.
Well, I'll tell you what they did do for people who don't have health insurance is there's this white crystallized cat litter that turns different colors depending on the health issues your cat has. It'll turn red if there's blood in the urine. It'll turn like a green color if it's a UTI or something like that. So if you don't have health insurance, just piss in a bag of this shit. Tell you what's going on with you.
Oh, no, that's actually cool.
Yeah, no, I thought that was neat, but
that's cool. But no, come on, man, your house still smells like cat piss, and you probably smell like cat piss. Everything you cook and offer me as a quick snack on the way out smells like cat piss until it tastes like it. But I don't know if it tastes like it or not because I'm throwing it in my fucking on my floorboard on the way out. So yeah. Anyway.
Well, at least it's not a bologna sandwich from the masturbator from that apartment house that you had.
I wonder how that guy's doing these days.
He's eating bologna and pounding his bologna. That's what he's doing.
I'm more like, I wonder if he ever got any furniture for that place, or if it's still, it's like been what 18, 20 years. Maybe he's still. Is he still beating it to the same porn?
Hey, leave me alone. I got my masturbating chair.
Bologna? It's like so many unanswered questions on that one.
Hey, I got my masturbating chair. It's all I need.
That's right. I got my fapping spot. Oh my god!
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I also wonder about Prince William too, but we'll cover that in another show.
Okay. Well, I got Michael Diaz sent one in, said, was doing a flea service for a house. Daughter contracted me for her father's house after he passed. Complete hoarder situation, so I had to walk away the first time. Went back a couple weeks later after the place had been emptied out a bit. I'm spraying the basement, and most of the lights aren't working, so it's really dim. Open up one of the doors to the storeroom, and I hear hundreds of fleas landing on my boot covers like a rapid fire. Shine my flashlight down, and there's a dead, bloated cat they've been living on. That's it. Delicious.
I had no idea his fleas would still hang on a dead one.
Hey, any port in a storm, I guess. Shit.
I reckon so. Yeah. 32 years in the business, I'm still learning shit.
I tell you, you never fucking stop learning. There's always new nasty to find out, new disgusting things, and new weird shit to find out. Because I tell you, insects are evolving too.
Maybe that's why I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
I find it difficult to fap too, but I manage for 32 years.
Yeah, I'll manage to crank one out every once in a while to the old lady with the shitty diapers on. It happens.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, that's just extra padding for your bounce. So, hey, yeah, I have a wee one here.
A wee one.
That's a wee one. That's a wee willy winky. All right. When I was with the company, that's a creative one. I had a low income unit that smelled so bad I was dry heaving in the parking lot after. I was wearing a respirator the whole treatment, and when I showered that night, it reactivated the smell, and I near threw up in the shower.
Oh,
this is why shower beers are so important in our industry.
Yes, they are.
You can smell it, but that cool, refreshing barley pop will get that taste out of your mouth, and it'll also get that taste out of your brain too. So
yes,
shower
definitely.
beers, and something about the steaminess just makes you get drunk quicker. So shower beers, I recommend them highly.
Oh, I love them. Bathtub beers are good too.
Yeah, but this person here had a great way to beg off of this job to this account. And he goes, I marked it as containing some kind of biohazard and didn't go back until they had the property management clean it top to bottom twice.
Good.
Bravo.
Fuck yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
the brain trust in this industry is incredible, Jack.
The excuses that we can come up with just by polling the depot alone is amazing.
Oh, it is. It totally is, man. That's why I love what this little meme group has become in the past 3.5 years. It's just
it's taken on a life of its own. It really has.
Yeah, it definitely has. So So Jack, you got any more?
I do. I got two more submissions. One's one's mid-size, and one's got two small ones. So I'll get through those here.
Yeah, you go ahead and blow through them. I'm spent.
All right, Kevin Phillips. Grab your tissue. Pad the sweat off your brow. You're good.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. I did. Kevin Phillips says I did termite inspections in Central California from 2002 to 2019. I'd run across 4 to 5 hoarders per year. Many should have been in the show. We were drywood termite heavy and did more fumigations than anything else. And I have 2 stories that stick out the most. The dirtiest house I've been in. There were multiple adults living in the same house with at least 6 cats inside without a litter box. Cats were pissing and shitting all over the mounds of clothing and miscellaneous storage throughout the house. The smell as I walked through the front door was like a right hook from Mike Tyson to the nostrils.
Oof.
The entire house was a disgusting fun house of rotting food and cat shit. The bathroom was the high point of the inspection. I noticed that a garden hose was running from the shower across the floor and out the window. I pulled back the curtain, and there was a submersible pump was set up to pump out the water because the sewer main was clogged. It turns out that the toilet wasn't working either, so there was a pot with a ladle to scoop out the solid content. I have no idea where they were hauling the shit off to. Besides the toilet was a decent-sized trash can that was overflowing onto the floor with used toilet paper. The cherry on top was a very used tampon from a very heavy flow day sitting on top of the shit pile. Ew.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Are you seeing a common denominator here in the past 2 shows, Jack?
Oh, yes. Yes,
Cats.
I am.
Cats.
Yes.
Fucking cats. It's like, come on, man. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not a cat hater. I'm a dog man, but I'm not a cat hater. But for crying out loud, cats have certain needs, and you as a cat owner or a cat person have certain obligations, and one of them is to fucking get the shit out of the house. I mean, for Christ's sake,
that's your job.
And the same thing for vagina owners, man. Get them tampons out of there.
Yeah. It's don't leave them
when you're
around,
having an
please.
Orinoco flow day. Yeah, it's like nobody wants to see that shit.
Yeah, take it. It shouldn't be Enya that long. Get it, Enya, Orinoco flow.
That's why I like you, Jack. You're quick.
See, I was picking up what you were putting down.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Zach Stafford says, got called out for a dead animal smell. It was a mobile home. I suit up and crawl underneath, but can't find anything. They staple the netting on the underside to hold the insulation in during transport, and I start feeling around where the smell is and feel a lump. I take out my knife and slit the netting and insulation, and out falls a gelatinous opossum right next to my head.
Oh! Too soon, man.
Another one. I had a service, and there was a sushi joint inside that was a mall on service. There was a sushi joint inside that was riddled with Germans, and they would never clean it up and help get rid of them. The worst I walked in for treatment in the morning was a bucket of marinating teriyaki chicken on the floor, uncovered, and it definitely had been there all night and reminds me of your soy sauce story. Sorry, Jack.
Oh, God. The soy sauce story again.
I'll never get rid of that motherfucker.
Yeah. I got one real quick. This is a personal experience when I did I used to do this this Italian flatbread establishment over on the east side of Indianapolis. Not the cleanest restaurant in the world, needless to say. Had a mouse issue. I had was doing an inspection and I was going through. I found they bought garlic powder in bulk. It must have been like, maybe a 10, 15 pound box of it, plastic bag full of garlic powder sitting on their shelf. It was open. I opened it up, and what do I see in it is a dead mouse. So I pointed it out to the owner, who proceeded to, I was just gonna throw the whole fucking box away. This dumbass pulled the fucking mouse out there and set the goddamn box back on the shelf. I was not having any of this, right?
God
and
damn.
So I said, no, you cannot do this. I grabbed the box. I put it next to my service kit. I finished the service. I go out to the back where my truck is parked. I throw the box in the dumpster. As I am pulling away to my next adventure, I look in the rearview mirror, and there is the owner at the dumpster pulling that fucking box back out and taking it back to the restaurant.
Good God.
Okay,
what
everybody. I'm serious, man. Learn how to make your own fucking pizzas, guys.
Yeah.
Please. If you've got something that you really like out there, that you like to go out and eat, man, fucking learn to make it yourself, man, because you can't trust a soul out there. No. I've got a whole fucking binder full of copycat recipes that I've tweaked and nailed. I've got a recipe for KFC chicken. I have a recipe for Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
I have a recipe for Pizza Hut pan pizza, which is actually good because I make it and I actually use real ingredients.
Yeah.
I have one for General Tso's chicken that rivals anything out in a restaurant. I've got a ton more. I've got Big Mac nailed.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm still working on White Castles, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I mean, I rarely eat out anymore. I have to really super uber trust a restaurant in order for me to actually go out and eat something. And it sucks. And it's not only because of, you can't trust the people because of, garlic powder mice and shit like that. It's just, God, restaurants just aren't worth a shit anymore, Jack.
No, they're not. You're right.
I mean, you get a little mom and pop. You get those one-offs that are just great. They've been great. They stayed great during the pandemic, during the economic upheaval where everybody's trying to cut corners and shit. They're still doing it out there, but it's always the smalls, man. The chains are fucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The chains are towing the globalist line, and fuck it. I'm done with them. I'll learn your recipes the way they were when you actually were good at it, and just leave it at that. And anyway,
well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you want to know if a restaurant's good to eat at, drive around back and look at the dumpster area, because the condition they keep their dumpster in is the condition they keep their kitchen in. So
that's right.
That's how you know.
Yeah, those are words to live by, man.
Well, I tell you, it's time for us to knock out a couple you can suck it stories. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Jack. And let me rattle off one real quick.
And now it's time for the You Can Suck It story of the day.
All right.
Okay. Here's my story. To the douche king of Cali, who stepped into a management position when our old manager in Arizona left. Fuck you and your $1 million sales achievement that nobody gives a shit about. As a tech, there's two things that piss me off more than all the Karens put together, and that's salespeople who don't know a thing about pests and wildlife management. Don't give a shit about the customers, what they sell to them, or if they recommend will even fix their problem. The second thing is said people in management positions because of how much they sell and yet have no idea how to do anything pest related. Preach. I had a customer that was a referral from another pest company. He had an issue with pocket mice burrowing underneath the foundation and popping up around the tub drain. I recommend cutting a hole inside the closet in the backside of the tub, installing an access panel, and placing traps under the tub so we can remove the pocket mice before having his contractor seal the gap that the mice were entering through. We charged a minimum of $500 for any trapping service, and the customer was okay with that and was even willing to cut the hole himself. Hey, that's a good customer. Well, as soon as I put the sale through, the douche king called and canceled my sale because I didn't sign the homeowner up for a reoccurring service. He was already with another company, and I refused to steal customers of the company that is referring me. Fucking A.
Jesus
He also
Christ.
said that because the homeowner is not doing a full exclusion, it was a waste of time. He did not understand that pocket mice burrow and enter from the foundation on top of the vents that had already been screened. First off, you don't, you're right. They don't understand. Most of them don't understand. Okay, I had a point there, but I forgot it. But let's just keep going. even after replacing, all he said, we don't have those in Cali, and he's never heard of that and still refused to push my sale through. I don't think he liked a woman. He liked a woman who knew more about pest control and wildlife than he did. Lastly, he said, if all I'm doing is setting traps, tell the homeowner to go to Home Depot and do it himself. What the fuck?
God damn.
I was so pissed off that I had to take a breather before going back in to talk to the customer. After explaining the situation to the homeowner, I told him that if he was still willing to cut the hole, I'll set traps before leaving, and if we catch anything, he can just toss it, trap and all. After placing traps under the tub and outside the burrows, I came back to a cold drink, snacks, and a $100 tip. Bravo.
Oh, damn.
This manager made me go from loving my job to hating it, and eventually it's one of the 2 reasons I quit that company. The other reason is his boss, but that's another story. To the douche king of Cali, you can suck it. Helping people and solving pest issues is a big part of why I love my job and have stayed in this industry for 7+ years. I hope karma comes back around to bite you in the dick.
Damn right. Damn right. And I'll tell you what, I hope you find your parents' homemade porno, and when you put it in and play it and find out what it is, you can't get it to stop before your wife comes in the room.
Damn, no shit, right?
That's what I hope for.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you shit yourself awake. How's that?
There you go.
All right. I got one for you, Brad. And
okay.
for your insult for us. This anonymous story is, you know how companies like sending out different texts to each service? Well, this one almost bit them in the ass. According to specs, when you arrive on property, you call the supervisor. And that's exactly what I did. He was trying to give me instructions on where to go over the phone, but got irritated and hung up and skirted his truck flying up to me. He threw the truck in park, got out, and proceeded to berate me on how he's tired of telling technicians what to do and where to go and how he's going to find a different company to do the service. I, in the most...
Keep going.
I, in the most calm way I could, pulled up the specs and the map to show him I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I have it listed right here. He said, fine, and drove off. A couple hours later, while doing the service, I found a copperhead down in the bellows of one of the plants.
Ooh.
I got a bucket, scooped it up, and brought it directly to him while he was talking to his buddies. I gave him the bucket and told him our company doesn't handle snakes, but I will, so here you go. Gave him the bucket and went back to do what I was doing. At the end of the day, he called and apologized and then requested me only do the service from now on. Fucking controlling asshat.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I hope that guy goes to a doctor's visit and the doctor says, the good news is your dick's grown 4 inches since your last visit. He goes, great. What's the bad news? The doctor says it's malignant.
Goddamn. Ouch. Well, you can suck it. Fuck that asshole.
You can suck it. You can suck that malignant dick. Huh?
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Damn. Oh, my God. Jack, I'm spent. I don't know about you. Good grief.
You and me both, but we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus coming up, ain't we?
Yes, we are. It's going to be at the end. Yeah, we're going to keep trying to bring some quality fuckery to you up until September 22nd and September 29th. We're going to be taking a couple of weeks off so we can recharge our batteries and get ready for the for the changing of the seasons.
Oh yeah,
Jack, and but we're gonna get a couple more episodes out to you. Take a couple weeks off, and then we'll be back. In all honesty, I'm going to be taking a vacation, so it's what it is. I'm gonna be enjoying some time in the Smokies. I will still continue. Jack and I will still be on. You can still see us on Pest Control Humor Depot. I'm sure he'll send some of his wonderful videos, and I'll do the same. So, we love you guys, and we're looking forward to this fall, changing of the seasons. We're going to have a lot more to talk about.
Definitely.
Got a couple of ideas for some episodes. We really don't want to talk, we don't want to tell you what they are right now, so we can kind of get things in order. And, gosh, we're coming up on a year of this, Jack.
Yes, sir. And rapidly approaching 50 episodes as well. 50
episodes, absolutely. And to everybody who's listened to us, to all 13 of you, downloading us multiple times, we actually got, we're over 10,000 downloads now.
Yep.
So our tiny little podcast is growing, and my gosh, we can't thank you enough for listening.
And don't forget, one thing you can hear us on when we're not going to be on for the couple weeks on the break, we are guests on an episode of Shit That Goes On in Our Heads coming up sometime in September. We don't have an air date yet, but when it does, we'll make sure we post it on the Depot. So if we're not doing an episode, you can still hear your favorite Brad and semi-favorite Jack on a podcast out there, and we're just as fucking rancid as ever on that one too. So if you can't hear us here, you can hear us there.
It's already been recorded, Jack. That was fucking blast.
It was fun. It was really fun.
Those ladies are awesome, and 100,000 other people agree as well, because they're doing really well, doing their thing. It's a great show.
Yeah, and so thank you to G-Rex and Dirty Skittles for having us on the show, and for all you cheese bags. When the episode is released, we'll make sure you guys know about it.
Exactly. So, Jack, thank you once again for another stellar episode. And
thank you.
I'm looking forward to next week, whatever that fuck's going to be. So, on behalf of Pest Control Humor Depot, Tales from the Crawl Space podcast, and all of you people who contributed to us, we wish you a great weekend and would like to tell you to bug the fuck off.
Bug off.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. You can find us on just about every single podcast outlet there is online. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll have a new episode next week. Don't forget, you can find us on Instagram at TFTC Podcast, on Twitter at Crawl Space Tales, and you can also find us on Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot. See you next week.